So in this particular subtask of the log file parser project, we're going to filter the logs according to the input given by the user. That is, we're going to ask the user to give in an input log level like info, warning or level, and based on that we're going to print out all the logs which contain that particular level. So looking at the objectives, we're going to update the filter logs by level function. It should accept the user input for each log level, and it should validate whether or not the user has given an actual level. That is, I cannot give some random name like CodeChef or something like Apple. Instead, I have to actually give the levels info, warning and error. And if it's any other word other than these three levels, then we're going to print out invalid log level. And if the input is valid, we're going to open the log file and check each log entry if it contains the level given by the user. And then we're going to print out any logs which contain that particular level. So we have our expected output over here. Coming to the code, let's go down to the function of this particular subtask. So we have filter logs by level over here. So first we're going to print out enter log level, info, warning or error. Then we're going to take input from user, and we have two other functions over here, that is .trim and .toUpperCase. So why have we given this? So .trim, as I told previously, is going to remove white space that might be present at the start or end of the input given by the user. And .toUpperCase is going to convert any input given by the user to uppercase. That is, let's say I give only I capital in info and rest all are in lowercase, then this particular function will convert it to uppercase. Thereby we can compare it easily. So we're going to take input from the user and remove white space and convert it to uppercase all in one single line. Then we're going to declare a variable valid, which is of type boolean, and we're going to give it as false at first. So in this particular for loop, we are going to iterate through every log level present in the log level array, and we're going to compare it with the user input to check whether or not the user has given an actual level and not an arbitrary input. So here we are checking if the input given by the user is valid. And if log levels of I equals input level, then valid will be true, or else we're going to break out of the loop. So here we're iterating through the log level array, and here we are actually checking, and if valid does not exist, that is if valid is false, then we're going to print out invalid log level, and then we're going to return from the function. And now we have a try catch block over here. So basically try catch is used to handle errors in Java. So Java is going to try whatever code is present in the try block, and if it catches an error, we're going to perform whatever code is present in the catch block. So the try block, first we're going to read all the logs present in the logs text file using this particular line, and we're going to create a new boolean variable called found, which will be initially set to false, and we're going to print out a new line character, and we're going to print out the input level and print out logs. So after that we're going to print out something like, let's say user wants to find all logs of the level warning, so then we're going to print out warning logs. So we're going to run a for loop to iterate through each log present in the logs array. And this is for a particular log over here. That is if we take the first iteration, we're going to be taking the first log, and we're going to remove white space which might be present at the start or end of the log. So if log contains opening bracket, input level, closing bracket, then we're going to print out the actual log, and we're going to change found to true. We're using this found with boolean over here. That is, if found is false, that is there are no logs found in the logs text file, then we're going to print out no input level logs found. But if it's found, then we're going to change it to true. That way we won't be running this code. So after iterating through every log present in the logs file and printing out whatever log matches the input level given by the user, we're going to give a catch block over here, which is going to print out error reading the log file in case we get an error while performing this code. So the main function is pretty much the same. Let's just run this code once. So let me generate two logs. Let's look at the logs present. So we've gotten one info level log and one error level log. Let me filter log by level info. So you can see I've printed out info logs and printed out the single info log which is present. Let's just submit this code once. So we passed all three test cases. Let's move on to the next subtask.